But I was so grateful. And I got so slammed. I mean, SEO writing was cheap. When I was researching it, it was like $3 for 500 words. And I'm like, not in this lifetime, but I'll go out and, wait tables again, something I've done in my life, before I'll get paid that. But I set my rate at $25 an hour. After doing some research, I've at $25 per article. I could write for that. Cause in my mind, remember, I'm broke and I'm desperate here. I'm like, $25 per article, 500 words. I can turn out 4 to 6 of these a day, easy. $100 a day, $3,000 a month. I can make my bills, on that. Now, I wasn't thinking about, taxes and all that other stuff. I'm literally just trying to cover the roof over my head and stay afloat with all of my other bills. And like I said, at that rate, and because SEO writing was so hot, I got so busy that, in a couple of months, I brought on other writers, and I haven't looked back since. Now, things have changed, since then. A lot of writers back then they were like me. They didn't know what SEO writing was, so they weren't doing it. So when people found an SEO writer, who knew what they were doing, who understood the concepts, they overloaded them with work. But one thing I can say about it today is, even though the industry has matured, that the need for this type of writing has only grown. Now, remember, this is now 14 years, ago. And the reason that SEO writing is so lucrative is because, remember when I told you people do research online before they buy? Something like 86% of consumers research stuff online before they buy. Well, that's why it's called content marketing, because now when you go to a company's website, it's no longer about just being a buy button, and people are not getting their news from getting their buying decisions from a television commercial. Television is about awareness, just like radio is. But when people are ready to do in-depth research, most of us shop online these days. It's no longer an anomaly, and you want all the research that you can, most of us, before we make a buying decision. So that's why companies need good content, and they need a constant flow of it. And that's why SEO writing can be so lucrative. Like I said, back then I was charging $25 per 500 word article. Now, my rate started at $250 for a, 500 to 750 word piece. And companies don't even blink at that. The right, type of companies, the ones that I deal with. But, back when I started, like I said, I started at 25. A baseline rate today would be like, if I were just starting today, because most freelancers are afraid to charge, what they're worth, I would start my rates literally at 35, just as a bare minimum. And then you're going to go up from that so quick, because setting the way I believe people set rates is, you will hear people will slam you. Oh, that's too cheap. I can't believe you're telling people to do that, blah, 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 blah. And to me, in psychology, if you are afraid to do something, you are less likely to do it with confidence. So starting at a rock bottom rate, like $35 per article, will allow you to build your confidence. And then maybe after you have one client and do one article, you'll be like, oh, okay, I feel comfortable raising it to 50 or 75 or what. And then you start working your way up. So in the beginning, like I said, when I started at 20, 25, and I kept my rates there for a minute, it was probably like maybe, I want to say a year, 9 months to a year, 13 months, somewhere along in there. Then I raised it to 35, and then I raised it to 50, and then I went to 75. So it was incremental for me, because for me, everybody has their reasons for freelancing. And for me, it was all, it's all about paying the bills. But the thing is, I had freelanced before, so I knew the up and down. And so I just wanted to have a steady drove of clients without having to work so hard to get clients. So that's why I kept my rates where they were. Not that my writing is, any worse than anybody else's. I can write with the best of them. So, I'm telling you all this to say, if you start this type of career, don't be bullied into people telling you, oh, if you charge that, you're not a real writer, or to make you feel less than. Because we all have different reasons for freelancing, and your rates are your business. Maybe you're just you're a stay-at-home mom, and you want to be there for to pick your kid up from the bus stop, and your household needs an extra $500 or $1,000 a month to allow you to be able to do that. So your rates are going to be different than somebody who says, I want to freelance full time. I got a, $1,500 a month mortgage, and I got one mouth to feed. So I need to make $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So that person's rate is going to be different. So again, I'm telling this because I don't want you to be bullied. And again, rate setting is about psychology. So do what you need to do. Set your rates in such a way that you start to get comfortable and you get confident, because confidence is what gives you the ability to raise your rate, not somebody beating you over the head telling you, oh, you're not a real writer if you don't charge X, Y, and Z. No, you're oh, sorry about that, you're a real writer. You're a real writer, and you can, make charge anything you want to. It's all up to you. So get your confidence up. Start a little low. Get your confidence up. Start interacting with clients. What's the flow of work like? What type of questions do they ask? What's the turnaround time? What's the follow up? How do I bill? How long does it take me to get paid? And then once you get comfortable with that process, then you have more confidence in dealing with clients and in writing content, delivering content, and your whole process. Then you can start to raise rate. Now, I said, with all that being said, if you feel comfortable charging $150 per hour off the bat, then do that.